everybody. Welcome to end of week one. Welcome to SPNHL Off the Ice. I am the host, Bliskin. Still by myself, unfortunately. Everyone seems to be taking another season off. Hopefully, we'll get the crew back together because I'm sure it's kind of boring just listening to me yap. We got a couple of things to talk about today. Uh, you know, week one trade issues and we got asked to commish. We got a whole bunch of those. They've been piling up. I got to get to those, um, and a couple other treats here. Um, I think first I'm going to get into the trade issue that came up this week. Um, there's a little bit of outcry, you could say, over a pretty poor trade that went through this week. A trade involving excuse me, two teams where one came off much better than the other. Uh, this is not this is not a new thing. It happens to some degree nearly every season. Um, different different extremes, but it's always oddly enough generally by the same people who complain about it the most. However, the owners and I had a discussion of the impact of these types of trades and what we want to do going forward. Some of you probably already know my stance on this. Essentially, I love the idea of a fair and balanced trade system and preventing teams from stacking other teams. And I'm using pretty big air quotes there while saying this, as it's not always the case. Sometimes it's there, you don't even notice the difference, but there's always outcry. And I guess the potential is there for major impact. Um, but I've always felt the need to push back on the idea of a trade committee or an entity that controls the approval of trades. Um, I feel this group needs to be both very knowledgeable and completely unbiased. And personally, I think that we will be pretty hard pressed to find someone with that combination, let alone a group of them. Um, some have said, "Hey, Bliss, why don't you do it? You know everybody in the league." I do, for the most part. But only after they've participated in the league for a little while. And at times, it takes a good number of seasons before I really know a person. There are rookies I don't know. Obviously, I don't play in many other leagues, so when they come in here, I don't know enough to make a decision. And there are some vets that take 1 or 2 seasons before I even seen them play enough to form an opinion of their abilities. I know that somebody can play incredible for a couple of people and then get mixed in with others and play like dog vomit. So I don't think I would be the perfect answer for that either. Um, Clearly, we don't want a heavy one-sided trade system, but my fear is the alternative, which is potentially some trades being vetoed while others are not at all. We all have some form of bias. Even I do. As a GM, you probably won't see me make many trades. I see my own players as high value. I probably won't move at them, without getting something of high value back. I don't see many other owners offering me something of high value for anybody. Are my guys high value? To me, they are, but to somebody else, probably not. I hear GMs all the time complaining and talking about how they keep getting trade requests or offers for their top guys, and while the other teams are throwing their garbage at them. Is this a case of them trying to trade a quarter for a dollar, or is it a case where they think their quarter is actually worth a dollar? Uh, People see players in a different light than some others do. If trades are not open to be made, this is kind of the potential we need to understand and be ready for. We'll have owners and players very upset that trades went through and theirs were blocked. Eventually, there'll be some claims of bias saying that the league only allows their buddies or something stupid like that. You know how it goes with people and their brains. We can laugh about it, but it'll only take 1 or 2 situations before that rumor starts. So I'm a little hesitant to do this, but we we did discuss it. The owners weighed my concerns and my thoughts about it, and what they are potentially walking into, and we voted on it. We have voted to implement something. I don't know yet what it is, but it's some form of check and balance to ensure that these heavily lopsided trades are a thing of the past. We are still working on the details, but you can probably expect to see something take effect next season. Um, yeah, I'm not super eager for this, to be honest with you, but I am not blind to the fact that something is needed. It's just I'm hoping that my fears are just that, fears, and we can kind of put something in place that makes everybody happy, and my concerns don't ever actually become reality. Right, so that's that. Let's hope there isn't too many more of those before the end of the season, so we can at least get through this one before we have to worry about implementing anything. Um, Moving on to standings this week. In the Eastern Conference, we got Washington in the front there with. You have to forgive me. I have to scroll this in a little bit. My display is a little small. You guys will see for no problem, but mine is too small for me to see here. Here we go. All right. So we got Washington 6-2-1 with 13 points. Toronto right behind them 5-4, 10 points. Ottawa same there 5-4, 10. New Jersey 4-4 with one overtime loss. The Islanders 4-4-1 as well, and then Montreal coming up there 3-5-1. Overall, looking at the East, it's a pretty tight race still. Obviously, it's week one, but I'm not seeing any teams there that I would be concerned about falling off. Everybody seems to be doing very well. Over in the West, we got Dallas 8-1. Potentially, they may be the target this season. Uh, the formerly toxic Yotes are right behind them, however, with 7-1-1. Is Dallas going to pull away? We'll see. LA, good to see LA up there, 4-4-1. The Calgary Flames are 4-5. My Avalanche are right behind them at 3-5-1, and the San Jose Sharks are pulling in the rear, 1-8. Not the greatest start for the Sharks. Hopefully their trading will pay off. So far, it has in a minor way. They were 0-6 before they started making their trades. Now they're 1-8. So at least they got something going. Hopefully it gets them where they need to go. If we're looking at the league in general, it's looking like an even balance. It's usually you see like the West dominating or the East dominating, and then everybody else just kind of falling in. Still the West with a slight edge, but the East are right up there with them, so it'll be a interesting season. Um, I think I'm just going to jump into the Ask the Commish segment now. Normally I like to do it at the end of the show, but these are pretty. Some of are from last season. We didn't have many shows last season, so we didn't get a chance to get to them. I do plan to keep going with this, so if you don't know where to go, there is a section in the Discord called Ask the Commish. Go there, click the link, and fill out the form in there to ask your questions that will be read on the show like this. So the first question is coming from Anonymous. Again, that's also an option. You don't have to give me your names, but I prefer it, especially for questions that need more details. But this one doesn't need it. But first question comes from Anonymous. What is the required age? I don't think we got one. I would say breathing would be the only requirement you need to play here. Should we put an age limit? Probably. I've seen some questionable conversations going on, but right now we got no age group. Um, Second question coming from JH underscore Jack Dewan. How can I become an owner in this league as I am really experienced? Well, Jake, or Jack, there is a GM registration on the website. I'll actually show you where that is at the end of the show when I talk about something else. So stay tuned for that. But there is a general or a GM application test you can take, provided you know the rules. You'll be put on the waiting list, and when we need GMs, we will reach out to you. Next question from Anonymous. I could probably almost guess who this one was. May we please, at least they asked please, may we please have BoobBot? I feel like it is a great bonding experience for the league. Somehow I think you're boob enough for us all, so probably not. Uh, Next one here is from PDM. Will there be some sort of best server location, or will I be forced to play some West games? Um, there is no best server location because we don't know what that is. We can set it to any, but we obviously can't trust everyone to do that. So what we're doing is essentially the home team selects the server they want. Away team selects any. Um, we could say, hey, make sure everyone's any, but there's no way of telling what server they selected, so you might as well have something in place that allows them to select it. Next question comes from. Oh, hold on. Ripper. How do I join after the draft? If you missed the draft, if you did not sign up in time, there is an ECU option. However, it is very limited to playing. The odds of you being used in a good scenario and an expected scenario is very low. But you can sign up. We will add you to a ECU list. You just go to the regular registration form, and when teams have nobody on their roster, no TC that will fill in for them, then they can use an ECU. And the final question coming from Jerry252. As a TC, I was picked by LA. Can I TC for any other teams as well? I read the rules and pretty sure it said yes, but I could be wrong. Yeah, you can. Your priority is to LA if that is the team you were assigned as a TC. If they aren't needing you that night, you are free to play for anybody who's short. Yeah, it's pretty. Even though you're a TC, you're still technically a free agent. We just assign the free agents as TCs now, just to make sure that they're always involved and not left to rot in the dustbin. That's it for the Asked Commish. We'll get into the top forwards of the season, or of week one, I should say. Get a little ahead of myself. Um, Coop at the top there again, same as last season. 9 games played. He's got 22 goals, 16 assists. That is insane. 36 points. Not bad starting off 4.2 points per game. I'm sure he's happy. I'm sure Ottawa's happy with him. Grammy Hands up there from the Islanders. 20 and 13, 33 points. Also a great start, points per game. Beansy back at the forward position. I'm sure he misses it. 32 points, 4.0 points per game. Very good. Tyrell from New Jersey, 14 and 17 with 31 points. Kid Money. We're used to seeing Kid and Reap up there. Now they're on opposite teams. So we got Kid with 14, 17, 31 points. Reaper with 17 goals, 12 assists, 31 points. True Legend, 16 goals, 14 assists, 30 points. He was, I believe, top scorer last season, so he's got a little climbing to do, but I expect to see him up there again. Flurry, coming in near the end there. 10 goals, 18 assists, 28 points. Toxic Boy from Arizona, also known as Tommy. I prefer that name, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of the whole toxic thing, but that's fine. It's your thing. 10 goals, 18 assists, 28 points. And then Yessi from Dallas, their owner as well. 10 goals, 16 points, or 16 assists, 26 points. um, Great start. Obviously, a lot of those forwards are getting very productive already. I think the lowest is 3.1 points per game. That is definitely high quality scoring. Thrown over to the defensive side of the league, week one, we got Stupid, which is Bean's brother. 7 games played, 3 and 11, 14 points, plus 15. Doug CBJ up there. He's got 13 points, plus 7. You know what? I want to touch on this too. We did add interceptions into the stats, so we're hoping that's going to help tell us, who the better defensemen are, or the better forechecking forwards or defensive forwards, I should say. I think somebody mentioned to add in some passing percentages, so we're going to try to do that too next season. But I'm liking the additions. It's going to make awards a little easier to work with. Louis Deuce there. He's got his 12 points plus 27. Curtis, 11 points plus 22. Prodigy, 11 points plus 9. Jag, 9 points plus 8. And we got one of my guys, Capsdale Chips. He has 8 points plus 3. Um, and then Cuban, our first negative on the leaderboard. Minus 19. Not a solid start for him, but I'm sure they'll figure something out. Harkov, 7 points plus 5. And Predator with 6 points and minus 1 as well. Goaltenders for week one, we got. I had to do a little siphoning of the leaderboards because there was a few people with only 1 game played or 2 games played. We'll get better numbers once we get a little farther into the season. But at the moment, with 3 games played, 3 wins, 0 losses, Knight with an 87.88, it looks like, save percentage. Top Cheese Neon there, 7 games played, 6-1, 85.71. To me, that is probably the or the bar right now. It's got Knight up there at top. But I think just from looking at these stats right now, I would probably put Top Cheese up there. More games played and whatnot, but Chula right underneath him, 84.62. He's 5-1. Polar's 5-1. 84.38. And then we get into the usual suspects. Chad Kills, he's played 9 games this week. 5-4 with a uncharacteristically low percentage so far, 80.41. Big Truss played 3 games. He's 1-2. He's our first goalie into the 70s, 78.72. Bufford with 3-2 record, 75.4. Myself there with a 3-4 record. I'm at 75 even. My partner there in Colorado, he's 0-2, 74.19. And then we got, who is that? Kaz? God, my screen is so blurry. Yeah, it looks like Kaz. He's 2-2 with a 73. Looks like an 897. I have to go to the other screen to really get it. You have to forgive me. My display for this broadcast is very small. But yeah, you guys can see it better than I can. You'll have full screen. So that's our goalies as well for week one. I'm seeing things I expect to see. There's a lot of quality goaltending already. I'm happy to see there's more than maybe two or three that are standing out. Usually we only have two or three throughout the whole season. This looks like that might be the most competitive goaltending race that we've ever had. Um, Judging by the standings as well, this is going to be a grueling battle. I don't expect too many bottom feeders. I'm hoping Saint or San Jose could turn it around and get back in there. They're the only team I'm really worried about at the moment. Everybody else seems to be more than capable of fighting tooth and nail for playoffs this season. Um, so talking about the profiles again. Actually, I'll do this first. The question about the um, GM position. If you go to registration and go down here to GM registrations, you can click that and it'll give you a test you can fill out. If you pass it, you'll be added to the list, like I mentioned. Other than that, I wanted to remind everybody that you can go to your profile, your SPNHL profile requests, and if you click that, you'll get a screen like this. You put your name in and fill out the questionnaire, what you want to see on there. If you have other things you want, I can't stress this enough. Like, do this because you looked at the standings of player or league leaders. You saw like someone had some different pictures and stuff. If you want to stand out, you don't want to be like, look at this, all these guys, same picture. That's boring. If you want your own image, this is where you come to do it. Okay. You send me a link to it if it's on Google. You send me a link if it's an actual picture on your hard drive or on your phone. You have to send it to me on Discord. That's the only way it's going to work. Um, if you want videos on your profile, throw a link down here. That's what it's for as well. Just an example, what you can do. You see me at my profile picture. It's different than everybody else's. I put the league logo in there. You can put whatever you want. Your jersey number. You can let me know if I got your nationality wrong. I've been wrong on two people so far. How many cups you've won, what seasons, your owner awards, your team awards, your personal awards, and your stats here as well. But your videos would go right here in this section. So if you had anything of highlights of you kicking ass, send it to me. I'll throw it right there on your profile. Anybody who looks at your profile, they'll see what you've been able to do on the ice as well. Um, the other thing you could submit are articles and game of the night or play of the night submissions or whatnot. We had one submission this week. I'm going to call it the game of the play of the week because it only got one. So if you wanted to get a couple options in there, you have to send me them. For now, I got one coming from Toronto. Um, it was quite an amazing play, I must say, but here it is. Dying seconds of their game against Calgary, taking around all three of them and just roofing it over 5-star, making Cosmo and both 5-star and Cosmo look a little silly there. Wonderful shot by Slick. Thank you for this video. I believe it came from Wheelchair Devon. This is the kind of stuff I want. I prefer it on YouTube, by the way. That is the best place to do it if you want me to be able to post things. Other than that, that was fantastic. And I look forward to seeing what else you guys can do. Other than that, that's the end of this week's show. Hopefully week 2 goes a little better for some, one team in particular. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where we go. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.